ask an interesting question around how the masculine feminine pair stands with people today as an explanatory tool. Because my sense is there's a lot of people in developmental new thought communities who are simultaneously, on the one hand, very sensitive to the fluidity and plurality of human sexuality and the vast spectrum of possibilities that gets unnecessarily chopped down socially into two simple binaries. But very often, those same people are also very sensitive to this gorgeous, tantric, multi traditional, symbolic use of masculine and feminine symbolism as a profound and very useful form of sense making. So, how do you two hold that tension between a deeper use of gender binaries and the impulse to go beyond binaries?
I don't think we really buy into it at all. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's 46 chromosomes and only one of them are different. So I think that we basically don't buy into this. We see it almost completely as a social construct. And
Yeah, and I think that social construct goes very deep because as much as we've studied, as much as we've taught in this area, we still catch ourselves constantly being influenced by mainstream culture and the ideas of masculinity and femininity and the roles of those two polar opposites in sexual union. What one wants and what the other, what each want and what the each don't want. There are a lot of stereotypes, a lot of things embedded in our language, a lot of things embodied that pit those two against each other constantly. And that's what we're kind of battling all the time, personally and in our teachings.
So I think we see it as something to disengage with, to continually disidentify with what was, it's so deep, like Greg's saying, what I was indoctrinated in to think a woman's supposed to be, or to think what a older person is supposed to be, or to think how I'm supposed to be sexually. It's so deep. I see so much suffering in this area, young women suffering so much from being told that their bodies are supposed to look like. I had an eating disorder for decades, and just this constant fight to be something attractive to men in the male gaze. It's like once you come to that place, it was actually a man who helped me, a pickup artist that I was studying under. I studied male pickup, and he helped me really get back that sense of it's not anyone looking at me, it's me looking out of here. I'm doing the looking, and that's neither male or female. That's a person who's strong in their power chakra. It's like I hold the gaze. Nobody else's gaze really matters to me all that much. But separating from these things can be such a long task, so fruitful to get to the central self where none of this matters. I can play with it, but I don't have to be so hurt by it. Greg and I'll be making love sometimes, and we'll stop and we'll have discovered something. It's like, oh man, I was just coming from this indoctrinated female place of I'm supposed to please you right now, or something like this, and we'll both go, wow, yeah, that's how it is, and we can just keep going because we're identifying and letting go of how deep that is, and telling us who we are, how disempowered we are, how victimized we are. It's this whole victim story of, oh, you're this because men do this, you're this because women do that. It's just very much keeping us out of our own empowered self, which has a lot to do with sexuality, which comes up as, this is my life force, this is me, I'm going to express it. Sometimes, I teach this one in one of our little online workshops. It's like, here's sex, for example. This one's leading, right hand's leading. Okay, now left hand is leading. Now right hand's leading again. Now left hand's leading. Now the dance is happening all by itself. Nobody's leading. So we have these myths about the male's active and the female's passive, and it's like, this is all inside us.